Have you ever wondered what it truly means to live a fulfilling life after turning 70? In this video, I'll share the 11 powerful things I let go of to transform my journey into one filled with peace, joy, and renewed purpose. Whether you're approaching this milestone or already embracing it, these insights can help you redefine your life, shed what no longer serves you, and focus on what truly matters. Stay with me until the end to discover practical steps that can inspire your transformation and guide you toward a more meaningful and joyful chapter of life. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 11 things I let go of after turning 70. Turning 70 was more than just another birthday. It was a profound turning point in my life, a milestone that beckoned me to reflect deeply on my journey and what truly mattered moving forward. As I crossed into this new chapter, I realized life wasn't simply about aging. It was about a beautiful transformation. It was a time to release old patterns, habits, and mindsets that no longer served me, things I clung to for far too long. And in letting go, I found something truly invaluable: peace, joy, and a deep, unshakable sense of purpose. This wasn't an easy process. I had spent decades believing certain things were essential to my identity, but as I embraced this new phase of life, I realized how much baggage I had been carrying, an unnecessary weight that clouded my happiness and limited my freedom. So I made the conscious decision to let go, to release what was holding me back from the life I always dreamed of but was too afraid to claim. And the results, they were nothing short of miraculous. My heart felt lighter, my days brighter, and my purpose clearer than ever before. So letting go wasn't about giving up or resigning myself to old age. It was about shedding the layers that prevented me from fully living. I no longer wanted to be tethered by outdated beliefs, the fear of judgment, or the constant pressure to live up to others' expectations. I learned that true freedom comes when we stop clinging to the past and open ourselves to the boundless possibilities the future holds, no matter our age. For me, reaching 70 was a gateway to rediscovering the essence of who I am, a person deserving of joy, tranquility, and fulfillment. It was about choosing what mattered and finally letting go of everything that didn't. What I found in return was the extraordinary gift of living authentically with more gratitude and purpose than I ever thought possible. So this journey of letting go wasn't just an act of decluttering my life. It was a powerful reclaiming of my spirit. It allowed me to embrace the richness of every single day, free from the burdens that had weighed me down. I let go, and in doing so, I unlocked a life filled with more peace, more joy, and more love than I had ever imagined. 1. Letting go of working just to stay busy. In my younger years, I was caught in an endless cycle of busyness, always striving to climb higher, achieve more, and secure my place in the world. I believed that working nonstop, juggling projects, and being constantly on the move was the key to success. It felt like if I wasn't busy, I was falling behind. The corporate grind became my norm, and I measured my worth by how much I accomplished. But as I reached 70, something inside me shifted. I began to see that all the hustle, all the late nights, and endless tasks had drained me of my energy, my joy, and my connection to the things that truly mattered. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The truth hit me hard. I wasn't living. I'd been working out of habit, not of passion or purpose, and that realization changed everything. I began to ask myself, why am I doing this? What is the real reason behind my constant busyness? If a project or task didn't align with my core values or bring me closer to my personal goals, I permitted myself to step back. It was such a liberating feeling, like shedding a weight I didn't realize I had been carrying for decades. Letting go of the need to always be busy allowed me to rediscover the joy of living in the present. I no longer equate business with success. Instead, I found that true wealth lies in the time I spend with the people I love, in pursuing hobbies that bring me real happiness, and in those quiet moments of reflection and rest that are often overlooked. Every day feels more intentional now, more grounded in what matters to me. Have you ever felt like you're just working out of habit, always chasing the next thing without even knowing why? What would it feel like to step back, to let go of that constant urge to be productive? Imagine a life where the only things you work on are those that bring you joy or serve a higher purpose. Would you feel more fulfilled? For me, the answer was a resounding yes. By letting go of unnecessary business, I've opened the door to a more balanced, peaceful, and purposeful life, a life where I finally feel free. 2. Quitting mindless spending. For so many years, I was trapped in the cycle of mindless spending, not even realizing the toll it was taking on my life. Everywhere I looked, messages were telling me to buy more, to have more, to accumulate things that promised happiness and fulfillment. And I fell for it. I filled my home with gadgets, clothes, and trinkets that I thought would bring me joy. But the happiness these things brought was fleeting, disappearing as quickly as it came. And what was left behind? A house full of clutter and a nagging emptiness that no amount of purchases could ever fill. As I've grown older, I've come to a powerful realization. Material possessions rarely provide lasting satisfaction. All those things I bought with the hope of feeling fulfilled, none of them truly mattered. I realized that the real wealth in life isn't found in things, but in experiences, relationships, and moments that enrich my soul. So I made a conscious decision to quit mindless spending and start spending with intention. Now, I only buy things that genuinely add value to my life, whether it's an enriching experience like traveling to a new place or something as simple as a book that expands my mind. This change has been transformative. It's not just about saving money, although that's certainly been a nice benefit, but about shifting my focus away from materialism and onto the things that truly bring me joy. I no longer feel the pull to shop impulsively, to fill an emotional void with things I don't need. Instead, I appreciate the simplicity of life, the beauty in what I already have, and the deep sense of contentment that comes from focusing on non-material aspects of life that matter. Have you ever bought something on impulse, only to feel that sinking regret later on? Imagine how much lighter, how much freer you would feel if you let go of that habit. How would your life change if you started spending with intention, only on things that truly brought you happiness or served a meaningful purpose? For me, it has brought a sense of peace. I never knew I needed more freedom, more clarity, more room to enjoy the things that matter. Letting go of mindless spending has been one of the most liberating decisions of my life, and it's a change I wish I had made sooner. 3. Letting go of stressing over the small things. In my younger years, I used to let the tiniest inconveniences throw me off balance, whether it was traffic jams, petty arguments, or a last-minute change in plans. I would let these small irritations fester inside me, slowly building into a wave of stress that followed me everywhere. It was exhausting, constantly being on edge about things that, in hindsight, didn't matter at all. This low-grade anxiety drained my energy and robbed me of the joy that comes from simply being present. But when I turned 70, something shifted within me. I began to ask myself a simple, yet powerful question whenever I felt my stress rising. Will this matter a year from now? The answer, almost every single time, was a resounding no. And just like that, I started to let go of the small stuff that once consumed me. It was as if a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, a weight I had carried for decades without even realizing it. By letting go of the things I couldn't control, I found a sense of peace and clarity that had been missing for so long. Traffic jams? They'll pass. Arguments? Most aren't worth the energy. Appointments that don't go as planned? They'll be forgotten soon enough. Focusing on what I can control and letting go of what I can't has allowed me to approach life with a calmer, more grounded perspective. I've learned that life is full of imperfections, uncertainties, and messy moments, and that's okay. There's beauty in the chaos, and by accepting it, I've discovered a deeper sense of peace than I ever thought possible. Imagine how different your life could be if you stopped worrying about things beyond your control. How much lighter would you feel if you let go of those small, insignificant stresses that clutter your mind? What's one tiny thing that's been bothering you lately, something that, if you think about it, doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things? Could you let it go? Could releasing that burden bring more peace to your day? For me, letting go of stressing over the small things has been nothing short of transformative. It's given me the freedom to focus on what truly matters, and it's made my days so much more enjoyable. Peace isn't found in a life free of problems, it's found in how we respond to them. 4. Prioritizing self-care over pleasing others. For most of my life, I was caught in the trap of constantly trying to please others. Whether it was family, friends, or colleagues, their needs always came first. I wore my selflessness like a badge of honor, thinking that putting myself last somehow made me a better person. But the truth is, it left me feeling drained, worn out, and disconnected from myself. I'd given so much of my energy away that there was nothing left for me. And it wasn't until I turned 70 that I finally realized something important. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. In a world where we are conditioned to prioritize everyone else, I had to unlearn the idea that taking care of myself meant I was neglecting others. It was a tough shift to make, but it was also incredibly liberating. I started small, setting aside time for myself in the mornings, whether it was meditating, taking a quiet walk in nature, or savoring a cup of tea while getting lost in a good book. I began nurturing my mind and spirit by practicing gratitude and speaking to myself with the same kindness I so readily gave others. This newfound commitment to self-care changed everything. It was like refilling a well that had long since run dry. I found that when I took care of my own needs, I had so much more energy, patience, and love to give to others. Instead of feeling resentful or exhausted, I was present, engaged, and able to give from a place of fullness rather than depletion. Have you ever found yourself constantly putting others first, neglecting your own needs? It's easy to fall into the habit of thinking that caring for yourself is selfish, but in reality, it's the most loving thing you can do. Imagine how much more you could give to the people you care about if you made your well-being a priority. What would happen if you carved out time just for yourself? How would your life change if you made self-care a non-negotiable part of your day? For me, prioritizing self-care has been nothing short of transformative. It has allowed me to show up more fully for myself and for the people I love. It's a daily reminder that I deserve the same care, kindness, and attention that I so freely offer to others. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And by embracing it, I've found a deeper sense of peace, balance, and joy in my life. 5. Saying no to overcommitting. For most of my life, I was the person who said yes to everything. Whether it was attending social events, volunteering, or helping friends and family with tasks, I was always eager to be there for everyone. But I didn't want to disappoint anyone, so I filled my days to the brim, constantly running from one commitment to the next. But the cost was steep. My peace and well-being were often sacrificed. I had no time to breathe, no time to rest, and no time for myself. I was exhausted, both physically and emotionally, and I began to realize that always saying yes wasn't making me happy, it was draining me. As I've grown older, I've come to understand that saying no is one of the most empowering things I can do for myself. It's not about being selfish, it's about being mindful of my time, my energy, and my well-being. Now I'm selective about what I commit to. I ask myself, does this align with my values? Does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, then I don't hesitate to turn down the invitation, the request, or even the person who may be draining my energy. And let me tell you, it's been one of the most liberating changes I've ever made. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. By saying no to the things that don't serve me, I've opened up space in my life for what truly matters. I no longer feel the pressure to please everyone, and instead, I focus on the commitments that bring me genuine happiness and fulfillment. There's a quiet power in choosing what to say yes to, in protecting your time and energy. I found more balance, more peace, and more time to nurture the relationships and activities that bring meaning to my life. Do you ever struggle with saying no? Do you find yourself overcommitting even when it leaves you feeling drained? Imagine how free it would be to choose only the commitments that truly serve you. What's one thing you've agreed to that's sapping your energy? How would it feel to say no the next time an unwanted request comes your way? For me, learning to say no has been a game changer. It's given me the gift of time to rest, to reflect, and to focus on what's truly important. By letting go of the need to overcommit, I've reclaimed my energy, and in doing so, found more joy and fulfillment in the commitments I choose. Saying no is not a rejection of others, it's an affirmation of yourself. 6. Ending unhealthy relationships. Relationships are at the heart of our lives, shaping who we are and how we experience the world. But not all relationships are created equal. For years, I clung to connections with people who didn't respect me or brought negativity into my life, out of a sense of duty or obligation. Whether it was friends, colleagues, or even family members, I felt compelled to maintain these relationships, even though they left me feeling drained, anxious, and emotionally exhausted. Deep down, I knew these relationships weren't serving me, but I couldn't let go. I didn't want to disappoint anyone, and I feared being alone. But when I turned 70, something inside me shifted. I had a wake-up call, a realization that life is far too short to waste on people who don't uplift you. Time is precious, and spending it with those who don't bring joy, peace, or positivity into your life is not only draining, it's damaging. Letting go of unhealthy relationships wasn't easy, and it came with its share of guilt and heartache. But it was also one of the most freeing and necessary things I've ever done for myself. I didn't end these relationships with malice or bitterness. I simply chose to prioritize my well-being. I began focusing on people who genuinely cared for me, who supported me, and who encouraged my growth. I sought out those relationships that were nurturing, enriching, and mutual. And what I found was nothing short of transformative. Letting go of toxic connections created space for deeper, more meaningful bonds. The weight of negativity lifted, and I felt a profound sense of peace I hadn't known before. I was finally surrounded by people who made me feel valued, respected, and loved. Are there people in your life who drain your energy? Maybe you've been holding on to relationships that, deep down, you know aren't serving you. What might happen if you focused on those who lift you instead of those who bring you down? Imagine how much lighter and happier you would feel if you chose to invest your time in people who bring positivity into your life. Ending unhealthy relationships isn't easy, but it's a powerful act of self-love. It's not about cutting people off out of anger. It's about choosing to nurture the connections that bring joy, love, and support into your world. Since making the shift, my life has been filled with deeper, more meaningful connections, and I've never felt more at peace. Sometimes, the greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to walk away from what no longer serves you. 7. Putting my health first. For far too long, I put my health on the back burner, convinced that there were always more important things demanding my attention: work, family, and endless responsibilities. It was easy to push my well-being aside, telling myself I'd focus on it later. But when I turned 70, I had a moment of reckoning. I realized that I could no longer afford to ignore my health. I began to understand that without it, even the simplest joys of life, like playing with my grandkids, taking a walk in nature, or just waking up without aches and pains, could slip through my fingers. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but I started with small, manageable changes. I began walking every morning, not as a chore, but as a time to reconnect with myself and the world around me. I swapped out processed foods for fresher, healthier options, nourishing my body in ways I hadn't before. And perhaps most importantly, I carved out moments for stillness and reflection through meditation, something that has deeply enriched my mental and emotional health. These small changes weren't just about improving my physical health. They were a gateway to clearer thinking, more emotional balance, and an overall sense of well-being that I had long overlooked. There's a saying that health is wealth, and now I know how true that is. Amount of money, success, or achievement can replace the feeling of waking up each day feeling strong, capable, and mentally clear. And the best part, it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in life, taking even the smallest step toward better health can create ripple effects that change everything. How often do you find yourself putting your health last? What if, just for a moment, you shifted your focus and made your well-being a priority? Imagine the difference that even the tiniest change, whether it's a daily walk, a healthier meal, or a few minutes of quiet meditation, could make in your life. How might it change the way you feel, the way you move, the way you experience the world around you? For me, prioritizing my health has been nothing short of transformative. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better. And if I can do it at 70, I truly believe anyone can. So what's one small thing you can start doing today to improve your health? You might just be amazed at how it changes your life. 8. Tackling procrastination on personal goals. Time is a funny thing. It seems infinite when we're young, and before we know it, years have slipped through our fingers. For much of my life, I fell into the trap of believing there was always tomorrow, always later to chase my dreams. I was busy with the demands of everyday life, always telling myself that there would be time in the future to focus on me, on the passions and goals I had quietly tucked away. But when I turned 70, I had a sobering realization. Later isn't guaranteed. That wake-up call pushed me to stop waiting for the elusive perfect moment and to start taking action on the dreams I had postponed for far too long. I no longer wanted to be the person who looked back with regret, wondering what could have been if I had only dared to act sooner. Whether it was learning a new skill, traveling to a place I had always dreamed of, or simply finishing the book once started years ago, I committed myself to pursuing my personal goals with intention, determination, and most importantly, joy. There's an incredible power in deciding that the perfect time is now. No more waiting, no more making excuses, no more putting off the things that truly matter to me. And what I discovered along the way was nothing short of magical. This shift has reignited my passion for life in ways I never expected. Each day feels filled with purpose, excitement, and a renewed sense of adventure. I'm no longer living in the someday mindset. I'm living in the here and now, and it feels exhilarating. Have you ever put your dreams on hold, telling yourself that you'll get to them later? What's stopping you from taking that first step today? Imagine how your life might change if you stopped waiting for the perfect time and started pursuing your personal goals right now. What's one dream that's been lingering in the back of your mind? I can tell you from experience that the moment you stop procrastinating on what truly matters to you, everything changes. You realize that it's not about having everything figured out or waiting for the stars to align. It's about taking action, however small, and watching as those small steps build into something extraordinary. The perfect time is now, and I promise you, once you start, you'll wonder why you didn't take that leap sooner. So what's holding you back? Start today and watch your life transform. 9. Embracing change instead of fearing it. For the longest time, change was my biggest fear. I dreaded the thought of anything shifting or evolving in my life. I held on tightly to what was familiar, even when deep down, I knew it wasn't serving me anymore. There's a certain comfort in the known, and I convinced myself that staying in my comfort zone was the safest, easiest path. But as the years passed, and especially as I reached 70, I began to see things differently. I started to understand that change is inevitable, whether we welcome it or not. More importantly, I realized that change is often the key to growth, renewal, and discovering new layers of ourselves that we never knew existed. Instead of resisting change, I made the conscious choice to embrace it with open arms, and what a profound shift that was. Where I once saw change as something frightening, I now see it as a gateway to new experiences, opportunities, and self-discovery. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Embracing change has added a sense of freedom and adventure to my life that I never expected at this stage. Each change, big or small, has become a chance to learn, evolve, and step into new possibilities. By welcoming change, I've opened myself to so much more than I could have ever imagined. I no longer cling to the past or hold on to what feels safe simply out of fear. Instead, I approach each change with curiosity, asking myself, what new experience might this bring? How can I grow through this? And what I've found is that change has a way of transforming us, often in ways we never thought possible. It has brought me closer to my true self and has added a sense of excitement and renewal to my life. What if you stopped fearing change and started viewing it as an adventure? What if, instead of resisting the shifts that life inevitably brings, you leaned into them with an open heart? Imagine how your life might transform if you stopped clinging to what was and embraced what could be. Are there changes you've been resisting out of fear? What might happen if you chose to face them head-on, with curiosity instead of hesitation? For me, this shift in mindset has been life-changing. By embracing change rather than fearing it, I've unlocked new dimensions of joy, growth, and freedom in my life. So what's stopping you from leaning into change? Let it guide you, let it teach you, and most importantly, let it lead you to a life full of new possibilities. The adventure awaits, you just have to be willing to leap. 10. Valuing sleep as a cornerstone of health. Sleep is one of those things we often overlook when we're younger, thinking we can get by on a few hours here and there, pushing ourselves to stay up late for work, socializing, or mindless distractions. I was no different. I used to sacrifice rest without a second thought, running on fumes, because there was always something that felt more important. But as I've gotten older, I've come to deeply appreciate how vital sleep is to my overall well-being. I realized that without proper rest, my body, mind, and spirit simply couldn't function at their best. Sleep, I've learned, is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's during those hours of rest that our bodies heal, our minds reset, and our spirits recharge. Now, I don't take sleep for granted anymore. I've made it a cornerstone of my health, prioritizing it above late-night TV, staying up for another hour of work, or mindlessly scrolling on my phone. I've established a bedtime routine that helps me wind down and ensure I'm getting the quality rest I need. A warm cup of herbal tea, a good book, or some gentle meditation, these small rituals signal to my body that it's time to relax, to let go of the day, and to restore. The difference this change has made is profound. Waking up feeling refreshed, energized, and clear-headed has become one of the most rewarding changes I've made for myself. I'm no longer dragging through the day, trying to function on limited energy. Instead, I wake up with a sense of vitality that allows me to fully embrace the day ahead. Sleep has truly transformed the way I live, and I can't emphasize enough how crucial it is for not just physical health, but mental clarity and emotional balance as well. Are you getting enough sleep? Think about it for a moment. How much better could you feel with just a little more rest? How might your mood, your energy levels, and even your productivity improve if you made sleep a priority? What's one small change you can make to your bedtime routine that could help you get the rest you deserve? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For me, the simple act of valuing sleep has been life-changing. It's taught me to respect my body's needs and honor the importance of rest and living a full, vibrant life. So tonight, why not try winding down a little earlier? Turn off the screens, create a calming routine, and let yourself fully rest. Your body, mind, and spirit will thank you for it. 11. Letting go of comparisons. Comparing ourselves to others is something most of us do without even realizing it. I spent so many years of my life quietly measuring my worth against others, comparing their achievements, their appearances, and their lifestyles to my own. It was almost instinctive, as if validation could only be found by seeing how I stacked up next to those around me. Whether it was through career success, personal milestones, or even superficial things like physical appearance, I allowed the lives of others to dictate how I felt about myself. But when I turned 70, everything changed. I had a revelation that hit me deeply. Comparison is the thief of joy. I realized that no matter how much I compared myself to others, it would never lead to happiness. Instead, it only sowed seeds of self-doubt, envy, and dissatisfaction. I stopped looking outward for validation and began to turn inward, focusing on my unique journey. Each of us walks a different path, and there's no universal measure of success or happiness. We all have our timelines, our struggles, and our victories. By letting go of the need to compare, I found something far more valuable than outside approval. I found peace. A deep sense of contentment washed over me as I began to appreciate my life for exactly what it is, rather than constantly wishing it were different or more like someone else's. And this shift in mindset was nothing short of transformative. No longer weighed down by the constant pressure to measure up, I felt lighter, freer, and more joyful. I realized that the life I've lived is enough more than enough. It's mine, and it's uniquely beautiful in its way. The energy I once wasted on comparison is now spent on appreciating the small, precious moments that make my life meaningful. What would happen if you stopped comparing yourself to others? Imagine the joy, the peace, the contentment you might find if you focused on your journey, on the beauty of your unique path. How often do you find yourself measuring your life against someone else's? And what might change if you shifted that focus inward, choosing instead to celebrate the person you are, the life you've built, and the path you're on? For me, letting go of comparisons has been one of the most freeing decisions I've ever made. It's allowed me to embrace my life, flaws and all, with a sense of pride and gratitude I didn't know I was capable of. I stopped wishing for someone else's life and started living fully on my own. So the next time you catch yourself comparing, take a moment to pause and remind yourself that your journey is your own, and that's exactly how it's meant to be. But you might just find that joy and contentment have been waiting for you all along. Living with intention after 70. Letting go of these 11 things has been one of the most profound and transformative experiences of my life. Each step away from the old habits, beliefs, and relationships that no longer serve me has allowed me to embrace a life of greater intention. It's brought me clarity, peace, and an overwhelming sense of freedom. For the first time in decades, I'm able to focus on what truly matters, on the people, passions, and moments that fill my heart with joy. Living with intention means making choices that align with my values and investing my time and energy in ways that bring meaning and purpose to each day. As I move forward into this next chapter of life, I feel a renewed sense of purpose, one that is grounded in the things that nourish my soul. I no longer waste time on the things that hold me back or drain me. Instead, I choose to spend my days in ways that uplift me, with people who support me, and on pursuits that bring me true fulfillment. Life after 70 isn't about slowing down. It's about living with more focus, more gratitude, and more intention than ever before. If you're approaching or already in your 70s, take a moment to reflect. What might you need to let go of to live more fully? Are there habits, mindsets, or relationships that are weighing you down? Your time is precious. Don't waste it on things that no longer serve you. Living with intention is about choosing a life that brings you peace, joy, and purpose every single day. And it's never too late to start. Embracing your own journey? Aging often carries a narrative of decline, something to resist or fear. But what if we reframed it as an opportunity to embrace who we are, not who we were? Aging gives us the space to shed the unnecessary and to live a life that truly reflects our authentic selves. It's not about becoming someone new, but rather becoming more of ourselves. Take a moment to think about your journey. Are there habits or commitments that no longer serve you? Perhaps some relationships have grown toxic, or you're still holding on to fears that keep you from living fully. The beauty of life after 70 is that you have the wisdom to make these decisions with intention. What would your ideal day look like if you let go of everything that weighed you down? Imagine living that day every day. Try journaling about one thing, big or small, that you could release to create more space for joy and peace in your life. Building a legacy of joy and peace. One of the most powerful gifts of aging is the legacy we leave behind, not just through what we do, but through how we live. When we prioritize our well-being, embrace change, and let go of what no longer serves us, we set an example for our loved ones. We show them that life doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful, and that it's never too late to make positive changes. Imagine the impact of living a life filled with intention, joy, and peace, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Your children, grandchildren, friends, and even your community will be inspired by your choices, witnessing the power of personal growth at any age. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? If there was one change you could make today, what would it be? And what's stopping you from taking that step toward a more intentional life? Staying connected and finding your community. As we age, maintaining meaningful connections becomes essential to living fully. It's easy to feel isolated, especially when life changes like retirement or health challenges disrupt our routines. But finding your community can make all the difference. Whether it's through hobbies, volunteering, or simply spending time with friends, staying connected is a powerful antidote to loneliness. Engage with people who share your interests, who understand the unique joys and challenges of this stage of life. Join a book club, participate in a walking group, or connect online. These relationships remind us that we're never truly alone. Have you been curious about trying a new activity or group? Don't underestimate the power of a simple hello or extending an invitation that can open the door to new friendships and experiences that enrich your life. Living with gratitude and purpose. At the heart of all these changes lies one key practice: gratitude. As we grow older, it can be easy to focus on what we've lost or what has changed. But by shifting our focus to what we have, our health, our relationships, our experiences, we transform the way we experience each day. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you out loud. It's about living thank you. It's about appreciating the sunrise, savoring your morning coffee, and finding joy in the little moments. Imagine waking up every day filled with gratitude for the life you have, rather than longing for the life you wish you had. How would that change your outlook? Try starting or ending your day with a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things you're thankful for, whether big or small. You might be surprised at how quickly your perspective shifts, bringing unexpected beauty and joy into your everyday life. to looking forward to the next chapter of your life. As you move forward into the next chapter of your life, it's essential to remember that this new phase is unwritten, a blank canvas, waiting to be painted with your experiences, choices, and the lessons you've gathered over the years. So this is your time to reflect, reinvent, and step into a phase of life that is entirely your own. The beauty of reaching this stage is that the pressures of others' expectations begin to fade, leaving room for you to live authentically on your terms. It's a chance to let go of the past habits, relationships, or roles that no longer serve you, and to embrace the things that bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace. Too often, aging is viewed as an ending, but what if instead we saw it as a new beginning? Life after 70 is not a closing chapter. It's a fresh start filled with opportunities for growth, discovery, and connection. So you are not defined by your past, but by how you choose to live each day moving forward. What will this next chapter look like for you? How can you make it the most meaningful and fulfilling phase yet? As you turn the page, remember that you have the wisdom, freedom, and power to shape your story in a way that honors who you are and all that you've learned. The narrative is yours to write, and the possibilities are limitless. The power of intention, creating a life that reflects you. Living intentionally means approaching life with purpose, with the understanding that each choice you make can either bring you closer to fulfillment or pull you away from it. It's about making conscious decisions that reflect who you are now, rather than who you once were or what society expects of you. This may mean setting clearer boundaries, slowing down, or simplifying certain aspects of your life. It may involve reevaluating what success means to you, and recognizing that your values today may differ from what they were 20, 30, or 40 years ago. As you navigate this new chapter, permit yourself to be true to yourself. Let go of the need to live up to external standards or past versions of yourself. Focus instead on what feels right in this moment. What does living intentionally mean to you? Is it about cultivating more peace, finding time for the hobbies or passions you've always wanted to explore? Perhaps it's about strengthening your relationships with loved ones or learning something new. The beauty of living with intention is that it's deeply personal there. There's no right or wrong way to do it, as long as it reflects your values. Each morning offers a new opportunity to live intentionally. Take a few moments when you wake up to set an intention for the day ahead. It doesn't have to be complicated. Something as simple as choosing to be kind to yourself or deciding to spend time doing something you love can set the tone for a day filled with purpose. Living intentionally means taking control of how you spend your time, energy, and focus. Or what will your intention be tomorrow? How can you align your daily actions with the things that matter most to you? Honoring your journey, the courage to let go. Letting go is one of the most challenging, yet liberating things we can do. It takes tremendous courage to release the familiar, even when we know it no longer serves us. Whether it's an old habit, a toxic relationship, or a lingering sense of self-doubt, letting go is an act of self-love. It creates space for new, healthier things to take root. When we hold on to things out of fear or comfort, we limit ourselves from experiencing the fullness of life. As you step into this new chapter, think about the areas of your life where you feel stuck. Are there habits you've been carrying for years that no longer align with who you are today? Are there relationships that drain your energy rather than nourish your spirit? Perhaps it's time to release the need for perfection or the fear of change. Letting go isn't about abandoning your past. It's about honoring your journey by making room for what's ahead. Each time you let go of something that's holding you back, you open yourself up to new possibilities, growth, and deeper fulfillment. What would happen if you dared to let go of the things that no longer serve you? How could you find more peace, joy, and freedom? Take a moment to reflect on one area of your life where you feel stuck or weighed down. What's one small thing you could let go of today to move forward with greater ease? Letting go may feel difficult at first, but it's one of the most powerful ways to honor the person you are becoming. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 4 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Celebrating your progress, acknowledging the small wins. As we grow older, it's easy to get caught up in what's next, what's left to do, what we still want to accomplish. But it's equally important to pause and celebrate how far you've come. Every small step you take toward living more intentionally, letting go or embracing change, is a victory worth acknowledging. Too often we focus on the destination forgetting that the journey itself is where life happens, where your life is not defined by the big moments alone, but by the small, everyday decisions that shape your path. Take time to acknowledge your progress, no matter how small it may seem. Each decision to live with intention, each moment you choose peace over worry, or each relationship you nurture is proof of your resilience, your growth, and your commitment to living fully. It's easy to overlook the progress we've made when we're constantly looking ahead, but taking the time to celebrate these victories builds momentum and reminds us of our strength. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on something you did well. It doesn't have to be a monumental achievement sometimes. The smallest victories are the most meaningful. Maybe you set a boundary that honored your needs, or perhaps you made time for something that brings you joy. Whatever it is, take pride in the progress you're making. Celebrating your journey, not just the destination, is a powerful way to stay connected to the present and to continue moving forward with purpose. The best is yet to come, embracing your future with an open heart. As you look toward the future, remember that life after 70 is rich with possibilities. This chapter is not about slowing down or settling. It's about embracing the freedom, wisdom, and experience that come with age. You've lived a full life, and now you have the opportunity to shape your future in a way that reflects everything you've learned along the way. The best is yet to come, not because life will be perfect, but because you have the power to live intentionally with purpose and joy. Each day is a new beginning, a chance to approach life with curiosity, compassion, and an open heart. Imagine what your life could look like if you embraced every day as an opportunity to live more fully, more authentically. And what if your best days are still ahead of you? What if each morning brings with it the possibility for growth, connection, and new experiences? No matter where you are on your journey, you have the power to shape your future. Every choice you make, every action you take, and every intention you set is a step toward the life you want to live. Trust in the beauty of your unique journey and never stop believing that the best is yet to come. You are the author of your own story, and each day is a chance to write a new chapter, one filled with gratitude, purpose, and joy. So as you move forward, embrace your future with an open heart and know that the possibilities are endless. As we come to the end of this journey together, take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed. What have you learned so far? Perhaps it's the importance of living with intention, letting go of what no longer serves you, or embracing the beauty of each new chapter in life. Whatever it may be, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below and share one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to bringing you more content that inspires growth, joy, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.